Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about encapsulation. Okay, and this would be the last video of the series, Complete Python. Okay, and what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but wrapping up of data. Okay, as the name suggests, encapsulation. Okay, in order to understand encapsulation, you should be very much familiar with the term known as access modifier. Now, what is access modifier? The access modifier is nothing but the ease to access the object throughout the program. We have three kind of access modifier, that is public, private, and protected. Okay, so public is something that we can refer throughout the program. Private is something that can be accessed within the class, and protected can be accessed with the objects. Okay, let us go through a beautiful documentation. Okay, so in order to go search for it, you just have to type access modifiers in Python. Okay, first of all, you will get an short description of what is access modifier. So access modifier is nothing but it plays an important role to protect the data from unauthorized access throughout the program. Okay, and here I wanted to introduce to one of the good documentation that I was going across, and it was from Geeks for Geeks. Okay, so as we discussed previously, Python has three kind of access modifiers. Those are public access modifier, private access modifier, and protected access modifier. Right. So, what is public access modifier? The member of the class that are declared publicly are accessible from any part of the program. This is known as public access modifier, right? Next would be protected access modifier. Okay, so the question is, what how will I identify a protected access modifier? So the data member whose initial start with an underscore can be identified as a protected access modifier. The member of the class that are declared protected are only accessible through the classes which are derived from it. Okay, moving forward, what are private access modifier? So how to identify them? First, the private access modifier are those access modifier which can be identified with the data member initialized with double underscore. Okay, and private access modifier is nothing but these are declared within the class and can be accessed within the class. So the member of the class are declared private and can be accessed within the class only. Okay, private access modifier is the most secure access modifier as per the documentation. If you want to learn more about it, you can just refer this documentation. Let us jump directly to the program. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to create a class, and here the name of the class would be person. So person, by the way, I'm using REPL IT over here. Okay, feel free to use this particular platform, right? Okay, so now I'm going to define, initialize the value self def, and here the values that I would be passing would be name and age. Okay, name will be public, age would be protected, and we are going to make use of address. Okay, and that would be private. All right, so self name comma age. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass on the value. Since we want to access it throughout the program, we make use of self.name equals to name. Okay, by doing so, we'll be able to access the name throughout the program anywhere, right? And this is known as public access modifier. How do I make a protected access modifier? Okay, so in order to write an access modifier, so we'll protected access modifier, we'll make use of self dot underscore age. Okay, as we gone through the documentation, the same thing we are implementing over here. Self dot underscore age is a protected access modifier, and the last would be self dot underscore address would be an private access modifier, and the by default value that I want to set for this thing would be none. Okay, initialization part is done. Now moving forward with the next thing. Okay, self def. And now what we are going to do is, since we already know that address is a private access modifier, we are going to first need to set the values, and then we are going to get the values. In order to get the values, we have to first set the address over here. Okay, so that can be done by def set underscore the name of the variable, and that would be address, address, and that would be nothing but self dot address. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'll just type self dot underscore address, and that would be equals to address. Okay, now moving forward, now since we have set the values, we need to define a get method as well. So which will return the value by the way. So get dot address, and that would be self over here. And now we are going to type return what is the value that we want to return. return, and here it would be nothing but self dot address. Okay, so this is the thing that we would be returning over the console. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to create a display method over here, right? So let us do def display, and here we'll be accessing the values by self, and let us write the print statement over here. Here I'll be typing the name, and the name would be name equals to, okay, and it would be self dot name. Okay, self dot name, and here I'm going to access the value for age as well. So print, and here I'll type age, and it would be self dot underscore age, and the last would be the address. So print address, and that would be self dot underscore underscore address. Okay, we have created a display function. Now what we are going to do is, since we want to print it over the console and we want to display it such that name is equals to value, age is equals to value, and address is equals to value, we are going to make a minor change over here. Just cut it from here and space this thing over there. Okay, and you can remove this thing as well from that, right? So remove this and just follow along the video. You'll get to know what we are doing right now. Okay. Okay, so we just included them into the string, right? And here what we are going to do is, in order to print the value of the variables, we'll make use of app over here, and then we are just going to create a curly braces so that it will be acting as a variable. And what is a variable? It is a placeholder which will display the value over the console, right? We already know that. Now make use of this thing, and same goes for this one as well. Okay, 80% work is done, and now we just have to create an object and display the value over the console. Okay, that can be done easily. So in order to create an object, we are just going to type p1 equals to person, and here we are going to pass in the values for name and age. As we already know that address is private, we have to set the values and then get the values, right? So here the name would be Barry, and the age would be 30, let's say. And now what we are going to do is we are going to pass the values through the arguments, okay, by the set method. Okay, so p1, that is the object, set underscore address a d d r e s s, and here the address will be 123 Tokyo, Japan. Okay, that's done, and now let us call the display method. So display. All right, now let us execute the program, and we are getting the output. Let me explain you once again. What we did is we created a class name person. Okay. Here we defined two variables. Okay, two values that we wanted to take, that is name and age. Okay, and then we initialize the value. This is public by dot, this is protected by a single underscore, and this is private, that is by double underscore. We define the value of address as none. Okay, we created a getter and setter method. First we set the value by set underscore address, and then self dot underscore underscore address. Moving forward with the next line, that is get method, in order to get the values from the user. Okay, and then what we did is we created a display method wherein which we wrote three print statement over there. Okay, and then we made use of self in order to access the values. Okay, since this is globally accepted, it will accept the values throughout the program. This was protected, so we have made use of self over here. We initialize the value already. Okay, and this is private, so we have made use of setters and getters. Then we pass the values for name and age, and then which with the help of setter, we pass the value of address over here, and it was printed over here. And then we made use of display, and here when we call display, it printed all the three values, and the output is in front of your eyes. All right, so that was all about encapsulation, access modifier, public, private, protected. Hope you got it, and see you in the next one. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.